Hi. Are we live on there as well? Yes, we are. Hi, and hi, Ronnie. It's good to see you. Hi, Jane. Hi, Eric. I'm sure Sally will be watching as well this morning. So hi, you guys. Hi to everyone on Facebook. So I've got two going on this morning. So we're live on Facebook on my Raw Yoga page, and we're live on YouTube as well. As I said, this is going to be our standard Sunday morning. Oh, hi Rosie. Rosie said this is hi Rosie. This is going to be our standard Sunday morning stretch. So it's perfect if you've never done yoga before. It's also perfect if you've had a tough week, tough weekend, and you just want to unwind, relax. Nothing too strong, or nothing strong at all, really, in today's class. Tiny bit of core work, as always. Yes, find a seat and we'll begin. Yeah, wonderful. Hi, Sally. Right, so let's come to a comfortable seated cross-legged position. So if you are really tight in the hips, you can always sit on a block, a pillow, a towel or something just to lift your hips up a little bit and just to take a little bit of weight at the ankles. Sometimes this can really hurt the ankles, especially if you're tight in those hippies. So make yourself comfortable. We're going to start off with a little bit of breathing, a little bit of meditation. So if you get uncomfortable at all sitting in a cross-legged position, you can just straighten your legs at any point. Just always make yourself comfortable in your yoga practice. I can't say that enough. Don't be a martyr to a yoga practice. Don't hang in there if there's pain or if there's discomfort in the body. You want a little bit of tension release, but on the most part, you're looking for that meditative state. So if anything's taking you out of that meditation, then please make yourself comfortable. So we'll start by sitting nice and tall. Let's bring our hands into Chin Mudra. Tip of the forefinger and thumb touching. And then we'll close the eyes and get settled in. So this mudra aids in concentration. It's the kind of mudra that you'll see the Buddha doing quite a lot. A lot of people in meditation doing this because it just helps with that concentration. So firstly, we're just going to check in with how we're feeling this morning. So just notice how the body feels. So there any areas of tension or pain that are drawing your focus right now. And just checking in with your emotional body. So are there any strong emotions at the moment? And all of this is without judgment. So it's just noticing, just witnessing. And checking in with your mind. How is the mind this morning? Is it busy? Is it still? Is there anything that's been bothering you this weekend? Been playing on your mind? And can you just allow yourself to let it go? Allow yourself to be present on your mat. And drawing your awareness to where your body connects to the mat now. Just feel roots coming from the body into your mat. And just using a natural inhale, just allowing the spine to lengthen. Feeling nice and tall in the spine. And just allowing the shoulders to soften. Just falling away from the ears. Just checking that the neck is long as well. So there's a slight tuck to the chin. And we reach in through the crown of the head. And then soften in the forehead, soften in the eyebrows, the cheeks, the jaw. Allowing the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth and creating space between your back teeth. And draw your awareness to your breath. Just notice how the breath is. Without changing how you're breathing, notice that when you draw your attention to your breath, you naturally want to change how you breathe. So try to resist that and just watch. And just see if your natural breath is deep in the abdomen, or is it shallow in the top of the lungs? Can you feel the breath moving equally in the chest and the abdomen? Is the breath more towards the front of the body, or are you breathing between the shoulder blades? And just notice. And then we'll start to take control of the breath now. So let's start to take some deeper inhales. Draw the inhales down into your abdomen, allowing the abdomen to fill like a balloon. And as you exhale, the abdomen contracts, navel draws towards the spine. And continue to breathe into the abdomen. As we wake up the lower part of the lungs. And start to draw the breath of the body now into the chest. Feeling the ribs expand. As you start to deepen the breath, maybe the body starts to pop and click. And drawing the breath all the way up into the shoulders. And beginning to lengthen the breath now. So slow it down. Remembering that we can control our nervous system through the breath. And the world is going a little bit crazy. And when the head feels full, and the mind is distracted, we can just come to the breath, take control of the breath. And bring a calmness back to the mind, peace back to the body. The breath is your secret weapon in life. Maybe beginning to activate an ujjayi breath now, as we start to breathe with sound, constricting the back of the throat slightly and making a sound like a distant ocean. And we'll gently open the eyes, lift the gaze. And we'll take the arms out to the side. Keep those deep breaths going. Just using the arms to bring some energy up the body. Stay nice and tall in the spine. Reaching through the fingertips. And soften the shoulders away from the ears. And draw the shoulder blades down the back. And bringing the shoulders into external rotation. So turn the palms towards the ceiling. Keeping the breath going. Keep reaching through the fingertips. We're trying to find space in the shoulders. Coming into internal rotation. Turn the hands towards the thumb. And try to find your full range in the shoulders here. So the back of the hands should be now towards the mat. Keep reaching. And notice how the posture changes the longer we're here. Maybe the shoulders are starting to tickle a little bit down. Can you stay with the breath? And find external rotation again. Palms towards the ceiling. And just check, is the body still nice and open? Is the spine still nice and long? Inhale. And exhale, drop the left hand down. Reach the right arm overhead. Middle finger touches the top of the left ear. And just draw the right ear towards the right shoulder. You're just going to use that hand as a little bit of a weight, so don't pull the head so much here. Just a little bit of weight on that head just to work through the neck, the traps, and into that left shoulder. If you're going well, maybe you want to walk those left fingertips out a little bit more. Or maybe lift that left arm off the mat, about 45 degrees. And again, just noticing how it changes the stretch in the body. Releasing left hand to the mat. Let's just drop the head forward and to the right. So you may want to bring the hand out onto the back left quarter of the head. It's working a different part of the back of the neck. Bring the hand underneath the cheek and help the head back to center. Let's plant the right hand, send the left arm up. It reaches over, takes the top of the right ear. And again, just gently left ear towards the left shoulder. Just feeling that release to the neck. Again, don't yank the head. It's just a little bit of weight on that head. And again, maybe walking the fingertips out if that feels good. Depending on how tight you are in the neck, the shoulders, this will be a more intense variation. Or you can lift that right hand up. And again, just notice how it changes the stretch. And stay nice and tall in the spine here. Try not to round into the lower back. Just working on the core, your seated core strength. And just dropping the head forward and to the left. Lowering that right hand. Okay, maybe you're pulling the back right quarter of the head just forward and to the left. So aiming towards that left knee. And bring the hand underneath the cheek. Help the head back to center. We'll interlace the fingers. Inhale, reaching the arms high. Find extension through the spine. Lift the gaze, look up. And as we exhale, bring the hands behind the head. Chin comes to the chest, round the spine. Pelvis falls back. Inhale, raising the arms again, reach. And exhale, hands come forward this time as we round through the spine. Round the upper back, the lower back, the mid back. Hands come towards the heart now. Open through the chest, lift the gaze. Long through the spine, hips forward. Exhale, hips move back, round through the spine. Press the hands away. Work with those shoulders. Inhale, reach the hands high again. Find the extension. And exhale, we'll drop the right hand onto the mat. We'll find some side flexion. Staying here a couple breaths. Maybe coming to the elbow. If that feels good, just be mindful that that left sit bone doesn't start to lift. Draw it towards the mat. Right, and coming back to center. Interlace fingers. Inhale, reach. And exhale, taking it over to the other side. Left hand down. And reaching over. Finding extension through the side body. Again, drop into elbow if that feels good. Just keep the chest open. Just check that we're not starting to collapse the chest towards the mat. Inhale, come back through center. Inhale, reach. Interlace fingers, find that extension again. And exhale, fold and twist towards that right knee. Just pull the forehead down. Inhale, coming up. Left hand on the knee, right hand behind the back. Take an inhale. And as we exhale, a little twist. Gazing over the right shoulder. Be nice and soft through the neck, not twisting the neck too much in. And coming back to center. Interlace fingers. Inhale, reach. And exhale, fold, twist and fold. Head comes towards that left knee now. And spiraling into right hand onto the knee, left hand behind the back. Take another inhale. And as we exhale, a little twist. Gazing over the left shoulder. And coming back to center. Interlace fingers, inhale, reach. And exhale, release. Straighten the legs. Wobble the legs if your legs are feeling a little bit uncomfortable from that seated position. We're going to come into a simple forward fold. So again, just check that the sit bones are connected to your mat and we're nice and tall in the spine. Remember, especially if you're really tight in the hamstrings, you can bend the knees a little bit here, keep the back straight and work the heart forward as you come into this forward fold. So it's all about the hamstrings. You don't want to put any pressure in the lower back. Just start to make your way forward. Maybe you can get to the toes. Maybe you're using a strap here around the feet. If you are using a strap, don't pull really hard on the strap that you're creating tension in the shoulders and in the upper back. Just use it as a little bit of a lever to help you go a little bit deeper. And just feel the release through the backs of the legs. Soft through the shoulders, soft through the neck. Again, nothing too crazy. It's still the start of the class. And just breathe into your tension, wherever you feel it. Maybe it's in the back of the legs, maybe it's in the glutes, maybe it's in the hips, the lower back. And coming upright, we'll bend the right knee and bring the heel towards the buttock. Just give yourself a squeeze And then just drop the right knee out to the side. Bring the sole of the right foot onto the inner left thigh. So just work in a stretch through that right hip. Again, you can stay upright here. Going to find your glute in that right hip and use the glute muscle to draw that right knee down. You'll feel a nice stretch across the adductors on the inside of that right hip. And try to keep the left leg strong if you can. So we're working the flexibility and the strength in that left leg. You can fold forward here if you wish. Again, keep the chest open. Try not to round the spine. Think of a beam of light coming from your heart and you want to shine it out in front of you, so don't let the chest collapse. Now coming back up, if you fold it over, we're going to bring the right foot onto the left thigh. So just above that left knee. Flex that right ankle, keep it nice and flexed. Option one is to stay here if you're really tight in the glutes. If it's too much here, there's too much pressure in that right knee, just come back to this posture and work into this posture. Otherwise, you're here. If you're going well, bring the hands behind the back, keep the chest open, and start to bend through that left knee. So we're coming into our seated pigeon or figure of four. And we should feel a nice release to the glutes. Maybe a little rock from side to side if that feels nice. And release straight to that right leg. Bend the left knee. Heel towards the buttock, hug that leg in. And then just allow that knee to drop out to the side. Pull that left foot towards the inner right thigh. Again, engage the glutes. Use the glutes to pull that knee down. Again, we can be on a block or a towel here. If you're rounding into the lower back, if you're really tight in the hamstrings, then sit on a block. The right leg is strong. Again, maybe we're just here, or we're starting to fold forward. And again, just take your awareness inside the body. So where do you feel this posture in your body? What is this posture telling you about yourself? Where are you holding tension? I always say every posture has wisdom. Every posture teaches us something. It's up to us whether we listen to what the posture is teaching us. And coming all the way back up. Again, stay here if it was a little bit, if you're a little bit tight in the hips. Otherwise, left ankle just above the right knee. Hands behind the back. And if you're feeling good, start to bend that right knee. And again, maybe you're here. Maybe it's just a little bend in that right knee. Maybe that's your limit. And just stay there. Keep that left ankle flexed, just to provide a little bit of support for that left knee. And again, maybe you're moving either side to side. And again, just notice how this feels. Notice where the tension is being released in this posture. Keep the chest open. If you collapse the chest, you're going to escape the posture a little bit here. It's better to be here with the chest open than that foot too close and then rounding into the back. So just find where is good for you. Be honest with yourself. Remember, this is your practice. It's your body. And releasing. And we'll swing the legs around and take the hands forward. We'll tuck the toes under, send the hips back and up as we find downward facing dog. So the feet are hips width apart in your downward dog. Look up to your hips, follow the legs down, and just check that those feet are in line with your hips. The fingers are spread and the palms are pressing into the mat. Your option to pedal the legs in your first downward dog, to move your hips side to side. Just notice again your areas of tension. Notice how the body feels. And if you're particularly tight in the hamstrings, bend the knees. It's better to be here with a nice long spine than with the legs straight and the back rounding. So again, just check where you're at. We'll walk the hands towards the feet. Keeping those feet hips width apart, bend the knees as much as you need to as we come into a forward fold. So take hold of opposite elbows. Just relax the neck. Maybe nod the head yes, shake the head no, just check there's no tension there. Shift the weight forward slightly into the balls of the feet. Keeping the stomach connected to the thighs. And just start to work some length into the backs of the legs as we come into our ragdoll. Option to sway from side to side if that feels good. Releasing the elbows, just allow the arms to be heavy. We're going to roll up to standing. Vertebra by vertebra. And when we're there, just roll the shoulders back a few times. Just notice how those shoulders feel. Let's reach the arms high, take an inhale. And exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades together. Keep the heels of the hands together. And a little bend to the knees as we come back into a forward fold with a little shoulder stretch at the same time. And again, just noticing how the shoulders feel this morning. Deep breaths. And releasing the hands. Hands come back to the mat. We'll walk the hands forward and we'll find our downward facing dog again. So nice and strong through the hands, pressing from the shoulders in your downward facing dog. And dropping the knees to the mat, coming back to a tabletop position. And just check the knees are underneath the hips and the shoulders are over the wrists. Fingers spread as always in our tabletop position. And let's just rock forwards and backwards here, just a little bit, just working into the wrists, noticing how the wrists feel. And coming back to a nice steady tabletop. So in your tabletop, just make sure that we're not dipping into the lower back here. When the back is dipping like this, the core isn't switched on. So switch the core on. Draw the navel in, find those muscles. And we want a nice flat spine if we can. Wrap the triceps under and then send the heart forward here. So we're going to think of that light illuminating forward from your chest. And your gaze is just forward at the top of the mat. So find that strong tabletop. Keeping the strength in the core, we're going to step that right foot back. As you step that right foot back, just check that you haven't started to dip into that lower back again. Keep it nice and strong. And then if you're going well here, start to lift that right foot off the mat. Again, as you lift, make sure that you're not starting to lose the core. And just check that you don't start to drift over to the left. Try to keep the weight equal in the hands. If it's a little bit unbalanced, you can bring that left knee a little bit closer towards your center line. If you're going well, we'll take balancing table. Send the left arm forward. Taking an inhale. And as you exhale, draw the knee towards the elbow. Squeeze. Inhale, send them back out. Exhale, knee towards the elbow, squeeze. Just check the shoulder stays over the wrist. Right shoulder over the wrist. Inhale, take it back out. Exhale, bring it in, squeeze. And we're going to hold if we can. Holding for 3, finding that core strength, compression strength. For 2, 1. Inhale, send them back out. Exhale, plant the left hand, plant the right foot down behind you. We're going to pivot on that left knee. Turn that left leg. So it's open to the shorter side of the mat. Plant the right foot, send the hips forward, reach that right arm high as we find our side plank variation. Maybe that right leg lifts. Maybe it doesn't. See what happens. Maybe you're taking that right arm overhead, stretching through the side body. Bending the right knee, reaching behind, seeing if you can take hold of the foot as we take a little quad stretch, send the hips forward, open through the chest, pull the heel in, and then push back into the hand with that foot at the same time. And release. Right foot back to the mat, right hand back to the mat, pivot back on that left knee, right knee comes back down, back into that tabletop position to do the other side. So again, find the core first, make sure it's nice and strong, and then send that left foot back. So a little stretch through that left leg first, keeping the focus on the core. Wrap the triceps under, chest is forward, and then seeing if you can lift that left leg up without losing the core work. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but that's what we want. Keep pulling that tailbone under. And again, just check that you're not drifting over to the right here. If you're going well, find your balancing table. Right arm reaches forward. Try to find stability in this posture. Deep breaths. Don't lose the breath. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, elbows comes towards the knees, squeeze them in. Inhale, send them back out. Exhale, bring them in, squeeze. Inhale, send them out. Exhale, bring them in, squeeze. And we're holding here. For 3, for 2, 1. Inhale, send them out. Exhale, plant the right hand down. Drop the ball of the left foot to the mat. Pivot on that right knee. Turn that right foot out. Drop that heel, left heel to the mat. And we're opening up into our side plank. Just check that the shoulder is stacked over that wrist. Move the hips forward. Find space in the body. And if you're going well, start to lift that left leg up. Just check as you lift that left leg up that the hips don't start to drop back. Keep pressing the hips forward here. Take the left arm overhead if you want a little bit more of a side stretch here. Bending that left knee, reaching behind, taking hold of the foot as we come into a little quad stretch, a little bit of a back bend. Opening the front of the body, keep sending the hips forward. Again, you're pulling the heel towards the buttock. At the same time, you're pressing the top of the foot into the hand. So opposing forces working into this posture. And release. Left foot comes back down, left hand back down. Pivot on that right knee. Find your tabletop position again. We'll tuck the toes under, send hips back and up. Finding our downward facing dog again. Wrap the triceps under. And coming forward into a high plank. So bringing the shoulders over the wrists. Again, exactly the same as in our tabletop. We want the chest forward. We want the tailbone tucked, the glutes on. If it's too much in full plank, drop your knees to the mat, but keep the core work. Take an inhale. And as we exhale, lowering down. Bending the elbows onto our bellies. Pointing the toes. Bring the elbows forward as we find our Sphinx pose. So elbows underneath the shoulders. If there's pinching in the lower back, if it's too much, as always in your Sphinx, move the elbows forward. So the lower ribs come onto the mat. And then just work from here in opening the upper back, opening the chest. Think of drawing the shoulder blades together and down. Inhale and exhale. Lower it all the way to the mat. We're going to bring the hands forward, just forward of the shoulders, fingers spread, as wide as your mat, maybe slightly wider, coming into some oscillating cobras. As we inhale, we're just going to press hands into the mat, shoulder blades come together, send the heart forward, and exhale, lowering down. Inhale, heart forward, exhale, lowering down. Keep a little bend in the elbows. Inhale, don't take it too far. Listen to your body. Exhale. We'll do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. And bringing the hands by the chest, we'll press back into child's pose. So feet together, knees can be together or wide. And finding your child's pose. Forehead comes to the mat. And maybe adding a little bit of movement to your child's pose. Again, exploring the body, exploring how it feels. And then coming back to a tabletop position. Knees underneath the hips, and again, knees, hips width apart. I'm going to take the left hand forward, so going into like a twisted puppy. So left hand reaches forward. I want you to stay nice and strong in that left hand, that left arm. Wrap the triceps under. We're going to use this right hand just to open up. We're going to send that left armpit towards the mat as we open up to the side. So there's a little bit of a twist, and at the same time we're working into the shoulder. And bringing that left hand back. The right hand reaches forward. Left hand out to the side. And again, just using that left hand to help you open the body up into a twist. That right armpit coming down. Stay strong through that right arm. So press that right hand down. And coming back up. Hands back underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under. Send hips back and up. Find your downward facing dog again. We'll send the right leg high, coming into 3-legged dog. So keep that right hip down in line with the left, just reaching that right heel high. You should feel the stretch intensify in the back of the left leg. And we're also working strength into that right leg here. Not staying here for long. Take an inhale. As we exhale, come onto the ball of the left foot. We'll bend that right knee, bring it through, and just plant it as far forward as you can between the hands. Went into a little bit of a pyramid pose. So stepping that left foot forward a little bit more. Maybe that back heel is grounded, maybe it's not, it's all good. Just feeling a nice stretch to that front leg. And maybe the front leg has a little bit of bend in it. Again, this is fine. You can use blocks either side of the body here as well. That can help just keep the legs a little bit straighter and working some space into the body at the same time. Bend through that right knee and drop the left knee onto the mat as we make our way into our low lunge. Just wiggle that right foot forward, keep the right knee over the ankle and send the left knee back to wherever feels comfortable in our lazy lunge. So coming upright, just feeling a nice stretch through the front of that left hip. Nice deep breathing. Let's bring the left hand onto the right knee. Take the right arm forward. Take an inhale. As we exhale, coming into a twist. So reaching that right arm back. Exhaling as you twist, and then working from here. So inhale, find a little bit more length through your spine. And as you exhale, see if you can twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, coming back to the front. Take the arms in front. Wrap the right arm underneath the left as we take a nice little shoulder stretch here. So coming into our eagle arms. If you can't take the palms, maybe you can reach for the thumb. Maybe you can take hold of that left thumb. Or maybe we're here with the arms just crossed. This is all good. Just reaching those elbows high, sinking the hips low. Maybe lifting the gaze here. And again, just working on finding the length through the body, space through the body. Use the breath to create the width, the depth to the breath. And releasing the arms to the mat. We'll tuck the toes under. Lift that left knee off the mat. Making our way up into a high lunge. So keep the hands on the hips here for a moment. Let's work that tailbone down. Have a little bend in that back leg. If you're feeling a little bit tight, it's all good. Let's release the hands by the side. Draw the shoulder blades together, open through the chest. And we're going to come into a little bit of a balance. So you're going to start to lean forward into that right foot. Shimmy that left foot forward. And find a balance here, your airplane balance. Step it back so you can see. So just working nice and slowly. Maybe you're here. This is all good. Maybe you're wobbling out of it. It's all good. If you fall out, just get back in and have another go. Use the breath. Make sure you're not holding your breath in the balance. Trying to find steadiness, stillness. And slowly with control, bend back into that right knee. Plant that left foot. And plant the hands onto the mat. Send the right foot back to meet the left. And find downward facing dog. Have a breather. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So raising that left leg high. Three-legged dog. Again, the aim is not to get the foot as high as you can here. The aim is to keep that left hip dropping down and pressing back through that left heel. Find the energy. Feel the stretch through the back of the right thigh, the right glute. Come onto the board of the right foot, take an inhale. And as you exhale, bend that left knee. And bring it through. Plant the left foot. Between the hands or as far forward as you can. Shimmy that right foot forward a little bit more as you find that pyramid posture left side. And again, if the knees are bent, it's all good. Just check that the feet are going in the same direction. So think of your feet being on train tracks and they're in line with the hips. The chest is open. And again, maybe we're here, maybe the knees are bent. Maybe we're here. This is fine. Maybe you're using blocks either side of the body. That's fine as well. Just breathe. Breathe into the tension. Bend through that left knee and drop the right knee onto the mat as we find our lazy lunge. So left knee over the left ankle. And send that right knee back as far as feels comfortable. And make your way up. Hands onto that left knee. And again, just use your exhale to sink through those hips. Use your inhale to draw length into the body. Soft shoulders. Right hand onto that left knee, left arm forward, take an inhale. And as we exhale, making our way into a little twist. Reaching that left arm back. Maybe gazing back towards that left hand. As you do this, just check that the hips don't start to lift up. Keep sinking through those hips. Every exhale, using that to twist a little bit deeper if you can. And inhale, coming back to the front. Take the arms forward. And bring the left arm underneath the right now as we find our eagle arms on the left side. So again, maybe you're taking hold of the right thumb. Lifting the elbows high. Lift, gazing up towards the tip of the right hand. And again, sink through those hips. Find length. Feel the stretch through the front of the right hip. Maybe you're feeling something going on in the front of the left hip as well. Inhale. And exhale, release. Hands to the mat. Tucking the back toes under. Lift the right knee up. Finding a high lunge position. Make your way up. Left knee stays over the left ankle. Again, that back knee can be bent here. Release hands from hips. Take the arms back. So again, shoulder blades together. Chest nice and open. Start to lean forward into that left foot. And finding your balance. Trying to bring the upper body parallel with the mat. And again, just checking that that right foot doesn't start to point out to the side. So keep the hip closed. And find a fixed point ahead to help keep your balance in this posture. Nice, deep breathing. Relaxing. Bending into that left knee. Slowly with control, stepping that right foot back. Finding that high lunge again. And lowering the hands onto the mat. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Find your downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale, drop the knees to the mat. Swing your legs around. Or you can cross the feet over, sit back. As we make our way to a seated position. Tucking the tailbone under, finding strength through the core here. And we'll just hold it here. Keep the hands on the knees if you wish, or just extend the knees forward. So we're on the sacrum here. So it's not our Navasana position on the sit bones, we're on the sacrum. So really round through the spine. Switch the core on. And we'll hold here for 5. Deep breaths. 4. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly, slowly with control. Keep rolling that tailbone under. Keep the core on. As you come down with control, all the way onto your back. Bring the shoulder blades under the back. Chest open. We'll send the right leg towards the sky. Interlace the fingers behind the back of the calf or the thigh. And then just continue to stretch through those hamstrings. You can take hold of the foot if it's comfortable to do so. You can use a strap as well. If the leg is back here, use a strap. If you're going well, we'll straighten that left leg. And maybe you want to add a little bit of movement here into the hips. Maybe some rotations through that right ankle. We'll bend that left knee again. We'll bend the right knee and find happy baby, half happy baby. So drawing the knee down to the side, to the mat on the outside of the body. Ankle flexed. You can take outside of the foot. You can take the big toe here if you wish, or you can just wrap your arm around the back of that left thigh, the right thigh, to bring it down. Yeah, just exploring that hip, noticing how it feels. Straightening the left leg. We're going to roll onto our left side. So right hip on top of the left hip. You can support the neck here if you wish. Straighten both legs out. You can be here as well if it doesn't feel good for the neck. We're going to bend the right knee and bring the sole of the right foot onto the inner left thigh. Your option is to stay here. Just work on opening that right knee out so you're working into that right hip. Your other option is seeing if you can take hold of the big toe and then straightening the leg towards the ceiling. A little bit of pull on that big toe. And again, just check that the hips don't start to fall back. So stay nice and high on that left hip. And again, just working flexibility inside and the back of that right leg. Maybe if you can't get to the foot, maybe you're here, this is fine. And releasing, bending that knee, straightening that right leg out, roll onto your front now. We'll take the right arm out to the side, so it's in line with the right shoulder. Bend the elbow 90 degrees. Gonna have a little bicep stretch, a little chest stretch here. Might be quite intense, so listen to your body, take it nice and slowly. We're gonna keep that right shoulder pressing down towards the floor, towards the mat. The left hand is by the chest, elbow up to the ceiling. Bend the left knee, and then use that left hand to press yourself over. So coming into a little bit of a twist, but keeping that right shoulder down. Hopefully you're feeling a good stretch across the chest, through that right shoulder into the right bicep. For most people, you won't need to go very far here. You may not even be all the way on your side. And just breathe, relax. And release, rolling back onto your belly, releasing that the right arm. Reach the left arm high, roll back onto your back. And we'll do the other side. Shoulder blades under the back. And reach that left leg towards the ceiling. Interlace the fingers behind the back of the thigh. Or the calf. And again, just releasing, finding that nice stretch. If you're going well, maybe you're straightening that right leg. Maybe you're making some rotations with that left ankle. And just check you're keeping that breath nice and long. Bending that right knee again, coming into happy baby. Bend the left knee, take hold of the foot, draw the knee down, outside of the body. And again, taking whatever variation of your happy baby feels good. You can catch the big toe again, you can be here. This is all good. Maybe you're here, maybe the knee doesn't come down that far, that's fine. And straightening that right leg. Bringing that left foot onto the right thigh as we roll over onto our right side this time. And again, making yourself comfortable on your right side. You can be here. Try not to go to sleep. Or you can be here. This is fine. Again, just stacking the hips. So I want that left hip directly above the right hip. Then the left knee, and bring the sole of the left foot onto that right thigh. Again, maybe you're here, just working that knee open. This is fine. Otherwise, you're taking the big toe. And sending that left leg high. Again, just check the hips don't start to fall back. Keep rolling them forward. Maybe balance is an issue as well here. And just make yourself comfortable. If you need to take the arm out here, this is good. Or take it nice and long. This is fine. It's fine where it feels good for you. Deep breaths. And releasing the big toe, bend the left knee. And we'll roll onto our fronts. For that nice chest stretch on this side. So take that left arm out. So wrap the shoulder down. So shoulder down towards the mat. And then bend the left elbow. We've got a 90-degree bend in the elbow. The right hand comes outside of the right chest, onto the fingertips, elbow towards the ceiling, bend the right knee, and start to roll. And again, maybe you're here, maybe this is fine, maybe you're like, I'm really feeling this stretch here, I don't need to go any further. Then stay there, that's fine. Just find where it feels good for you. And keep pressing that left shoulder down. This is a wonderful posture. If you're round shouldered, if you're working at a desk all day, and the chest is tight, this is a wonderful posture just to release the tension in the front of the body. Deep breaths. Relax, relax, relax. And release, rolling back onto your belly. You reach the right arm high and rolling back onto your back. Let's take the arms out to a T. We'll bring the knees above the hips. And with control, slowly, slowly, just lowering the legs over to the left as we make our way into a spinal twist. Drop the head over to the right. Draw knees back through center. And lowering the knees over to the right as we drop the head over to the left. And bringing the knees, the head back through center. Give yourself a squeeze, hug the knees in. And releasing and coming onto our backs, straightening the legs. Take the heels as wide as your mat now. Making our way into our final posture. Shavasana. Take your arms out to the side, taking up space, shoulder blades under the back, chest open. Just tuck the chin slightly so the back of the neck is long. If you have a blanket close by or a hoodie or some socks, maybe you want to put those on now just to keep some heat in your body as you rest in your Shavasana. Close your eyes. And just find complete stillness now. Let go of your Ujjayi breath. Allow your body to be heavy. With every exhale, the body melts a little bit more into your mat. Just check there's no tension in the face or the jaw. And as you rest here, a reminder to be gentle with yourself, to have compassion for yourself. Remembering that the yoga journey is one of patience, of acceptance. It's not to be rushed, it's not to be forced. All we're trying to do through the practice is come back to our true selves, who we were before we placed all our layers on us from society, growing up, from our experiences. We're just trying to peel them all off and come back to who we were when we were born. Inquisitive, full of love, full of hope, without fear. And just present. And just think back to a time in your childhood when you were just present. There were no worries. You were just happy. You were just alive. And let's take a deep inhale. Exhale the breath, completely connect navel to the spine. Inhale breath into your heart space. And exhale the breath into the fingertips and the toes, and start to wiggle the fingers and toes as we bring movement back to the body. Rotating wrists, ankles. Bring the feet, the legs together, take the arms overhead for a full body stretch. And draw knees into the chest, give yourself a squeeze. And as always, just taking a moment to be thankful, to show gratitude for all you've been given, for where you are right now in your life, your practice, and showing complete acceptance with who you are. All is good. Rock to your right hand side when you're ready. And join me in a comfortable seated cross-legged position. And taking your time as you come out. And when we're there, we'll bring our hands into Anjali Mudra at our heart center. Just reconnect with the breath. And we'll finish with the sacred sound Om, or mantra. And then we'll finish with 3 shantis. Peace, peace, perfect peace. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale for Om. Sahana bhavatu, sahana bhunaktu, saha viryam karavavahai, tejasvi Navati tamastu mavit vishavai. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hare Om. Raising your hands to your head for kindness in your thoughts to yourselves and to each other, to your hearts for kindness in all of your actions, and to your lips for kindness in your words. From my heart to your heart, always. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. I hope you all feel a little bit more open in your body, a little bit more calmer in your mind. And ready to start your Sunday. I can see some comments coming in on YouTube. Oh, Ronnie. I think it's Ronnie. Hi, Katrina. Good morning. Hi, Facebook. I've got Facebook there. I've got YouTube here. Oh, Ronnie, it's so good to see you. And how long has it been, did you say? Yes, yeah. Where are we? Honestly, I thought you said it had been over a year. Blooming hell, over a year, Ronnie. Wow. And Jane, it's been 3 months. So yes, hopefully you feel a little bit more open, less stiff. It is Ronnie. Thought it was Ronnie. And thank you, Rosie. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And thank you all for joining me this morning. It is Ronnie. Thought it was Ronnie. And thank you, Rosie. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And thank you all for joining me this morning. It's been wonderful. Like I said, I'm now doing some Zoom classes. So my most recent post on Instagram and on Facebook tells you my timetable for the classes this week. They're going to change every week. I'm going to trial a Wednesday morning class. Probably no one's going to come to it. 7:15 in the morning. Thank you, Eric. So I think it's Tuesday. It's going to be slow flow this week at 7 till 8 p.m. Wednesday morning, 7:15 to 8:15. It's a wake up morning yoga class. And then on Thursday, 7 till 8. Again, these are all on Zoom. It's Ashtanga flow for those of you that have missed Ashtanga with me. It's a nice Ashtanga flow class. So if you're available and you want to come along, let me know. The Zoom classes are free to anyone who has donated to me over this crazy period that we've been going through. So it's just my way of saying thank you to you guys. It's not much, but it's it's something. The classes are free to you guys for the next 2 weeks. Might make it 3 weeks, we'll see. Otherwise, it's just £5 per household to come along. And it was lovely doing it last Thursday. I was able to interact with some of you, so it was wonderful with all of you. It's nice to see faces. It was wonderful. Yes, if you enjoyed this video, please like it. It helps with YouTube algorithms, so I've been told. So please like the video and subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed on YouTube. And I'll see you next Sunday if you're not joining me for Zoom. Otherwise, have a wonderful, wonderful week. If you have any questions about your practice, please get in touch, ask. And enjoy your Sunday. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Love to you all. Love you on Facebook as well. Bye bye.